everybody. Welcome to Los Altos High School Tom Burt Field for today's Pride Bowl between the visiting Mountain View Spartans and the home team Los Altos Eagles. I am Paul Cunningham, joined by history teacher Mike Mester here at Los Altos High School for today's game. And Mike, a beautiful day for football and two pretty good teams coming in tonight.
Well, they don't come any prettier than this autumn day here, Paul. And we're talking about two teams that have been at each other's throats since Los Altos got founded back in 1954. Both teams under 500, but if you look at the statistics, they all favor Mountain View. Both the one-loss record and the individual statistics, which we'll talk about a lot today. But this ought to be quite a game because it is, after all, the Pride Bowl.
It is. And they've been playing this for a number of years now, and the trophy currently sits here with Los Altos. Here's a shot of the De Anza League standings where Milpitas is high atop, 4-0. And you'll see Los Altos there, 0-4. But the De Anza division, a very tough division in the Central Coast section. As we're just getting the coin flip done. And we would like to let you know who we're here being sponsored by. And it is Altos Mobile Massage. KMVT Sports would like to thank our sponsor, Altos Mobile Massage. Massage can change your mental and physical state and inspire you to give power and energy to solutions. Altos Mobile Massage brings the massage to you. Sometimes a little pressure is a good thing.
We're a mobile massage company, and we bring massage therapy and yoga to the corporate workplace.
We started this business in order to bring more awareness to corporations for health and wellness.
This is a nice perk that they can offer their employees, and it says, hey, we care about your well-being. We look forward to bringing massage therapy and yoga into your corporate workplace.
Los Altos to kick off to Mountain View here at the beginning of the Pride Bowl. As we said, an absolutely gorgeous fall afternoon here at Los Altos. Truly an Indian summer, as it has been balmy. Deep to receive from Mountain View are Jacob Cortinas and Sam Gill.
And, Paul, I think that's Harry Allen that's going to be kicking for the Eagles.
Indeed it is. And here he goes for the onside kick. It's taken by the Spartans. Wow, they only had one offensive player there, and that was number 59, who I do not have. Whoop, hang on. 59 is Victor Baird, and I'm sure Victor wasn't exactly expecting that on the opening kick.
Well, Baird is not a small guy, Paul. I mean, 6'1", 175, but when you've got the special teams of the Los Altos Eagles coming at you, there's not a whole lot you can do is just hold on for dear life.
That's exactly what he did.
Mm-hmm.
J.D. Coyne under center for Mountain View. Three-step drop, looks to his left and throws out into the flat. It is incomplete, intended for number 4, Danny Olson.
Yeah, that was a swing pass that he tried to do there, out to the left flat and just a little bit beyond his fingertips. Some people have said, Paul, that would be the when they do the story of the San Francisco 49ers this year, that'll be the name of it, just beyond the fingertips.
Just beyond it. Quick look at it there. You'll see, as you're absolutely right outside the fingertips. Coyne again under center. Coyne likes to go from the shotgun, but a little bit right under center here to start the ball game. The ball carrier was number 25, Sam Gill. Gill picks up maybe a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
And that's Ben Parker on the stop there, Paul. And Ben's a junior, not the biggest guy on the team, 5'8", 145, but he really was tenacious in making that stop. And I think, I don't think Mountain View got a whole lot off of that one.
Only a couple. So a 3rd and 8 for Mountain View just on their side of midfield. Fake. Coyne rolls to his right, has a little bit of time. Now in trouble. The left-hander throws towards the sideline and out of bounds, out of play. It'll bring up a 4th down and 8 for Mountain View.
I thought that was interesting that he rolled out to the right. He's a left-handed quarterback, so you'd think that he would move to the left to find another receiver to buy more time. Evidently, he thought he had a better shot, and then as he headed towards the sideline, he figured, you better just throw this away.
Get rid of it. Yeah, exactly. So a punting situation for Mountain View. Out for the punt is Osvaldo Ortiz Verde. And deep to receive for Los Altos is number 9, Ben Parker.
We've heard a lot about Ben, so he's been on the defensive line. Let's see what he can do in catching kicks.
Punt is away, line drive. Taken at the 8 by Parker. Parker breaks one tackle. A second tackler is able to corral him and bring him down right around the 19-yard line, where Los Altos will set up shop. First and 10, their first possession of this ball game.
Well, you know, it's when we look at the record of the Eagles, Paul. I mean, they are 1-6, so in one level, it's kind of a disappointing season. But on the other hand, they do tend to have a slow start and a fast finish. So whatever they do in the first quarter, it may or may not set the tone for the rest of what we're going to see this afternoon. Let's see what they can do in the first series.
Eagles break the huddle. Rocky Hidalgo under center. Fakes a pitch and gives to his wingback. That was number 7, Ari Guzman. And Guzman maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
I think he may have been dropped for a small loss there. Mountain View was just all over that play.
So we'll call it a second down and 11, 10 and a half minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Hidalgo out of the shotgun. Hidalgo with the give. The ball carrier was number 9. That is Ben Parker. Parker gets some positive yardage.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be a little bit short of the first down. That was Vincent Kolodny that was in motion there. 6'3", 223, and I thought he may be going out for a short pass on that, but Hidalgo decided to go to his run game there, and apparently it paid off.
So it brings up a third down and 3 for Los Altos. Hidalgo under center, tight formation by the Eagles. The reverse and the give back to Calderon, and Tyler Calderon has enough for the first down. They're going to mark it at the 30-yard line, which is just enough for the first pickup of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be a first and 10 at the 30-yard line.
That was a massive blitz that the Spartans just threw there, Paul. I mean, it looked like they had all 9 of that. You talk about the front 7. This was the front 9. They threw everything they had except for that free safety. And I think the Eagles got a little lucky on that, but it was enough for the first down.
Give up the middle. Positive yardage. Pickup looks like of about 4 yards on the play. Wait for the pile to uncover, and it was Ari Guzman, the ball carrier.
Guzman was the ball carrier. Gain of about 4 yards.
Take a look at that up-the-gut run, and forward progress got him a little bit more than he would have had otherwise, because somebody managed to get penetration enough to try to pull him back. You got to give it to the defensive line of the Spartans on that one.
Shotgun formation, second down and 6 for the Eagles. Throw out into the flat is complete, and then dropped immediately is Guzman. He is pickup of about 3 yards on the play. We'll see where they spot it.
I'm guessing that's going to be about a 3rd and 3 coming up, Paul.
All right.
Guzman, the receiver on that one.
Good protection there. He had enough time to get the throw off, but the Mountain View secondary read it pretty well. So it brings up what looks like a 3rd and short, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 for Los Altos.
Ooh.
Ball is tipped in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Keenan Hanley. I don't think it would have been a first down either way if he had caught it or not. So it drops for the incomplete pass, brings up a 4th down.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was Kevin Sanchez who tipped the ball, and I don't have any height numbers on him, but the fact he was get off the ground that much, I mean, that guy's probably going to be on the track team later this year.
Ozzie Ortiz very deep to receive for Mountain View. And Harry Allen out to do the punting duties. Punt is away. Knuckleballing type punt that will take a very neutral bounce and will be down right around the 39-yard line.
Yeah. Sam Aoki was there with the coverage on that one, Paul.
So Mountain View comes out for their second possession of the day. They'll set up shop at their own 39-yard line.
You know, Paul, I was talking about the Los Altos team getting off to a slow start. Mountain View much faster, almost 3 times the amount of points scored on average in the first quarter by the Spartans as opposed to the Eagles. Yet they did go for 3 and out in that first possession. Let's see if they've made any adjustments. Wondering if there may be some confusion between what's going on the sideline.
Yeah, already there seems to be with them trying to figure out which play to call.
That's Jack Resnick who is asking for the signal.
And based on that, Mountain View needs to take their first timeout. So a timeout here with 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. We have no score. Mountain View comes straight out to the line of scrimmage from the timeout on the sidelines. And the officials we're not waiting on the officials. They were so shocked with how quickly they came back out from that timeout. The give to Sam Gill. Gill picks up some good positive yardage on first down. Gets out over the 45-yard line. It'll be spotted right at the 46-yard line.
That was a really strong formation that they just had there, Paul. I don't think they played any wide receivers on that.
No.
So they probably had 2 or 3 tight ends, and the Eagles do tend to run a 4-3 defense, and they were just overwhelmed.
Pickup of 7 on the play. It'll be second down and 3 for the Spartans. Again, with the full house backfield look. The give up the middle again. And looks like close to a first down is Elijah Brown. They're going to stop the clock, and they do signal a first down. It got out to the 49-yard line, just outside the 49, which will go ahead and give them the first down.
The thing I'm wondering about right now is if this is going to set the tone for the Los Altos defense, because if you're going to be playing against a running game like that, you're going to be doing that all afternoon. You are going to be very, very tired. You're going to be out of gas by the time the third quarter rolls around. So Los Altos may have to make some adjustments.
3 in the backfield, this time with 2 receivers in the formation, and a give up the middle is going to do nothing. A scrum developed after about a 1-yard pickup. The ball carrier was Elijah Brown.
And Brown went to the well one too many times there. Okay, they've been trying for that short run, but you talk about adjustments. Maybe they're listening in on our broadcast here, Paul.
Yeah, they get just inside Eagle territory on the other side of the 50-yard line, where it'll be second down and 9.
That's Jason Dulligan, who's exiting the field. He's being replaced by 2 other wide receivers.
Coin under center. And a whistle. And it's delay of game on Mountain View, as they got to get their substitutes in there a little bit quicker.
Well, I think they haven't quite opened up that channel of communication with the sideline yet, Paul. We noticed that before we went to the break, and I think we still have some static going on there. So let's see. Now they're going to have, you just said they were inside Eagle territory, but not anymore.
Not anymore. So it'll be a second down and about 14. Give up the middle and a couple of yards, and then absolutely flattened was number 4. That's Danny Olson.
And that was Miguel Tepepa on the stop. And Miguel's one of my students, and he wasn't fooled. He was right there from the very beginning. And you could see the penetration that he got on that run. Okay. Absolutely no place for him to go.
That was on the history of the prior plays that he learned that. So your history teaching has shown him to watch the plays and learn the history of this ball game as it goes on.
Yeah, I just didn't think he'd be thinking of a little while ago being history, but what do I know?
Once it's over, it's history.
Yeah, there you go.
Coyne out of the shotgun. Looks to his right, rolls to his right now, tucks it down and goes for a run. He's got some good yardage and very close to the first down.
For the Spartans.
Boy, that makes me wonder where the Los Altos secondary was on that. They were so hell-bent on getting pressure on the quarterback. I don't know that they even had a safety out there ready to cover on that.
Another look at it.
Yeah, let's see that again. Okay, he's rolling right, which is something that I didn't expect him to do, and then there he goes. And you can see how much progress he made on that. And I think it might have been Tepepa who got in on the stop there, but not before he was able to pick up the first down.
And he just did get the first, just barely, but that's all it takes. They're now down at the 41-yard line of the Eagles, first and 10.
First and 10 now, yep.
Give to Gill. Gill trying to find a hole and finds none. And is dragged backwards. I'm not even sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
It doesn't look like he did. That was Evan Bayer Murphy on him. He's a senior, and so he's going to be on his way out here. And so he's thinking, this is my last Pride Bowl. I got to make this count.
Well, they spotted at the original line of scrimmage, so apparently he did get back to the line.
Interesting.
So I see that Mountain View is now going back. Early in the season, Coyne would run over to the sidelines to get the play. They stopped that early in the game, and they were running the plays in. But now Coyne is back going over to his coach to get the play, and maybe that will help with the communication.
Well, we'll see. They certainly, whatever they're doing, it seems to be working so far.
A give on an end around as Gill came in motion, and they handed to Sam Gill. And this time Gill truly did lose some yardage, a couple of yards.
And that was Keenan Hanley in on the stop, and Miguel Tepepa again. Keenan is all over the place. He's played strong safety, a defensive end, and even been a tight end from time to time. He's 175-pound senior, and he is just fast as a rocket.
So 3rd and 11 for Mountain View as they break the huddle. Coyne under center, this time only 2 backs behind him. 1 receiver left, 1 right. And now some motion. The give to Gill. And he's not going to have the first down, but he picked up some positive yardage. As it'll bring up a 4th down at the 35-yard line.
That may be a little long for their kicker at this point, Paul, but we're going to see what Mountain View wants to do.
Well, they kept Coyne out there, so it'll bring up a 4th down and 4. And they're going to go for it.
Looks like they are going to go for it.
Coyne out of the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He looks to his right, scrambles to his right, and now has the ball partially blocked. And it drops harmlessly to the ground for an incomplete pass. And it'll be a turnover on downs over to the Los Altos Eagles.
And you got to give kudos to the Eagles defense. They bent back on themselves for most of that drive, Paul, but they didn't break. And so there's a lot of good things we can say about that. And now Rocky Hidalgo is going to be coming back out. Let's see what the Eagles can do on this next possession.
So 1st and 10 for Los Altos at their 35-yard line. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. The give and breaking through number 1, Christian McDermott. And McDermott looks to have enough for the first down and gets out over the 45-yard line to the 46, and indeed does have the first down.
Well, McDermott has got a massive legacy to live up to. Both his brother and his sisters, they've both been through Los Altos High, all of them great athletes, and quite a family there. 6'1", 170-pound senior, and he can move.
Hidalgo under center. Give to McDermott again. McDermott fights for some yardage, but it looks like he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, check that. Christian McDermott is a junior, not a senior. I beg your pardon. And the interesting thing, Paul, is that he doesn't usually line up as a running back. He's usually a wide receiver. So that's an interesting shuffle that Scott Pruitt made there. or Trevor Pruitt, excuse me.
Second and 10.
Give again up the middle to McDermott. McDermott picks up about 4 yards. They'll spot it right around the 50 before he's pushed backwards. Pick up a 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Los Altos.
I'm wondering at this point if Trevor Pruitt's going to go to an air game, because they've done some running. They've been able to get what they wanted. So let's see if they're going to vary it up a little bit.
Well, we'll see.
That's Rocky Hidalgo coming back into the game right now, Paul.
Close competition today between these
Yeah, Los Altos does that too, where they have the quarterback run over, get the play, and then run back. So both quarterbacks in very good shape at this time in the season with all the running they do over to the coach and back to the huddle. And with that, Rocky was a little winded and took a timeout. So we're breaking the action with 1:34 to go in the first quarter. There is no score. So 3rd down and 6 for Los Altos as they come back from the timeout.
ball remains midfield.
Be interesting if they're using the run to set up the pass here, because they've got 3 or 4 wide receivers, it looks like.
They do. They have 4 out there on the field. They single running back in the backfield. And movement and a late flag.
Somebody jumped there, Paul, and
it
I
looks
think
like
it may have been on Mountain View. Yeah,
I agree.
Penalty against.
Yes, it is. Offsides on Mountain View.
That's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
So now to make it a 3rd down and 1, and a whole different play from Coach Trevor Pruitt.
Well, not only that, but they're now safely inside Spartan territory, so that changes their strategy a little bit. And maybe it's going to put the Spartan defense a little bit more on their heels. We'll see what happens.
Hidalgo out of the shotgun. The give and a nice run well inside Spartan territory, inside the 30. It'll be down to the 27-yard line. That was Ben Parker.
Classic draw play there, Paul. I don't think the Spartans were expecting that at all with a 3-receiver set, but there it is. And let's take another look at that. All right, there we go. Good angle on that one, and there he goes. 1st down and more. And Parker, if there hadn't been somebody there, he could have run all the way to Palo Alto.
He could have. Hidalgo again out of the shotgun. A give. The give to Parker. Parker right up the middle is just tripped up and dropped inside the 10-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it'll be right around the 9, where it'll be 1st and goal for Los Altos.
Let's take another look at that, okay? And there he goes. You can see that speed. You can see the focus. He didn't have to worry at all about finding a hole. His offensive line did a perfect job in opening that up for him. And the Mountain View secondary was ready to respond, but not before they got well into the red zone. Now let's see if the Eagles can capitalize.
So 1st and goal. Hidalgo stays in the shotgun. Joined in the backfield by Ben Parker. Give to Parker again, and this time nothing doing.
Not this time, the defense said.
Loss of a couple of yards on the play. They'll spot it at the 11. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 11.
That was Keon Beruzzi there on the stop there for the Spartans.
12 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Think they're going to try to get another play off? Yep.
Throw into the end zone is caught for the touchdown. Christian McDermott on a slant or a post pattern into the end zone. takes it for the touchdown, and the Eagles are on the scoreboard first.
And that is very, very unusual for the Eagles this season. All right, so there's a great, boy, he really heaved that one, and he kind of threw into coverage, but they were able to come down with that. A great one by McDermott. The Eagles are on the board. They draw first blood. Very unusual for this season.
Harry Allen on for the extra point. And a penalty that will be taken on the kickoff. It's like unsportsmanlike conduct.
Penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct against Los Altos will be assessed after the kick.
Snap spot, the kick is up, the kick is good, and we've got a break in the action with 2.6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It is Los Altos 7, Mountain View nothing. So the penalty will take the ball back to the 25-yard line where Los Altos will kick it off.
And that'll just about finish up the first quarter there with two seconds and change. You're not going to be able to pull off too many miracles, are you?
No, that kickoff, once they make the tackle, that should go ahead and push us into the second quarter. Allen to kick. Kick is taken by Cortinas. Cortinas gets ahead of steam and gets out over the 35 out to the 39-yard line where he is brought down, and Mountain View will set up shop first and 10, but that will do it for the first quarter. One in the books. It is 7-0 on Los Altos. So first down for Mountain View. They are at their 39-yard line. First and 10. J.D. Coyne under center. Give to his up back. That is number 31, Michael Capote.
Well, the thing that I was remarking while we were gone there, Paul, is that Mountain View's not used to being in this position. They usually outscore their opponents. Los Altos usually doesn't get much more than a field goal in the first quarter, but here we are. So it's going to be a new experience for both the Spartans and the Eagles. And so we're seeing some history made here in addition to everything else.
To number 3, J.D. Coyne.
So J.D. Coyne took it on a odd snap that didn't go to Coyne, apparently. They went with no huddle, and again, they're coming up to the line with a no huddle offense, which will certainly slow down our ability to do replays if they're going to go no huddle.
Well, we'll just talk faster, Paul.
We'll just that's what we'll do. And now they are going to go back into the huddle as the clock didn't start with the quarters that are running it down.
You know, having watched football for a lot of years, I'm not completely convinced that the hurry-up offense is the best thing if you don't have to, because it means that communication is going to get that much more scrambled. We've already seen that Mountain View's had to make some adjustments about how they're going to get plays in and out to their quarterbacks, and I don't know that it's going to help any to, tell them to step on the gas.
Good point. Good point. So the clock continues to run. Mountain View still in the huddle.
11:15 on the clock. The hard way.
So they've got the clock where they want it to be. Now they'll wind it again, and Mountain View will break the huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. We got a third down and 3. Run, oof. A hard hit. The ball may have come free. We'll take a look and see if it did. The ball carrier was Danny Olson, but it looks like Los Altos may have gotten it on the fumble.
What a hit there. Let's see him take that again. Okay, again, an up-the-gut run, and boom, here comes somebody in from the secondary. And even if he did, that may have been Christian McDermott, now I come think of it. And I think it was. Even if the ball hadn't come loose, I mean, that was one that you want to put on your highlight tape if you want to send those to colleges. Kablam.
So first down and 10 for the Eagles. They'll be at the 49-yard line, their own 49.
Possession of ball, first and 10, Los Altos.
Hidalgo will stay in the shotgun. The give to McDermott. McDermott has a nice pickup there, pickup of about 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.
And it shows me that McDermott, okay, again, 6'1", 170. He's certainly not the biggest member of the team, nor is he the biggest of the running backs or the wide receivers. But he knows how to move. Once he gets into your backfield, he can dance all night long.
Got those dancing shoes on. The give to Ben Parker, and Parker stretches his body forward, trying to get maximum yardage on that. Gets it down. It looks like it'll be 3rd down and a little over a yard.
I think they called it 3rd and 2, and that's about what I would have said. Again, they're going to the ground game in the opening down, so their base offense is fairly obviously going to be running. But they did score their touchdown on the pass, and look at the set they got now.
Again with the give to Parker. Parker picks up maybe a yard.
I think he's going to be short, Paul.
Yes, he is. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard. So a decision now for Los Altos. They've been playing good defense, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them just go for it here.
Well, I haven't seen Harry Allen come onto the field yet, so if they are going to punt or if they're going to try to kick a field goal, they're not telegraphing it.
They certainly aren't.
Hang on, Christian. Got to get off that field. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a tight squeeze.
Hidalgo with the give up the middle. Looks like he might have it. It's Ari Guzman, and he, on second effort, pushes through and definitely gets the 1st down, getting inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line.
Well, that was crunch time in more ways than one. I mean, those offensive linemen knew exactly what they needed to do, and they got just enough for it.
So 1st down for Los Altos. Hidalgo out of the shotgun. And now a side official stopping play. They seem to be pointing to the press box.
I didn't do it.
I haven't done a thing. Now they're going to come up. They may be coming up to scold us. I don't know.
Official timeout.
Well, if we did anything, I can't figure what it was, Paul.
Well, both teams now going to the sidelines as the official has to go all the way around to get to the end of the bleachers and then work his way up here.
Little known secret that very soon.
So breaking the action with Los Altos in the lead, 7-0. We'll let you know what happened when we come back. So the referee is still up here in the booth with us, and what they're discussing is just when to start the clock after the 1st down. And then what it is they once they have the ball set, even if the chains are still being put into position, the official may start to wind the clock, and they just want to get that timing down. Our official is taking the shortcut, going right through the Los Altos cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Only grabbed one pom-pom.
Well, there are worse ways to go, I guess.
There are, well, yeah. So that'll speed up us getting back to the game.
Well, this is an institution of learning, Paul, so it makes perfect sense that the referees would take a lesson too. Why not?
It's a good secondary education, you know. You've got to take full advantage of that. Los Altos comes back out onto the field now, as do the Spartans.
Ball on the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 Los Altos.
So the Eagles break the huddle. Hidalgo will be from shotgun. He's directing traffic. He wants 3 receivers to his left and 1 to the right. The give to Ben Parker, and Parker maybe picks up a yard. We'll see where the spot is.
How it impressed me how the Spartans were able to adjust to that with a 3 wide receiver set on the left side, 1 on the right. You would think he would have gone for a pass there. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so Handing straight off and straight up the gut and straight into a brick wall. Not many places to go right there, Paul.
No, not at all. 2nd down and 9.
That was Alfonso Barmore that got the stop there.
The give again to Parker, and Parker is strung out and dropped back at maybe the original line of scrimmage, looks like at the 39, a loss of a yard on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Well, he was able to get away from that first one. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, here we go. Very slow motion there. Okay, so he's able to get one. He kind of stiff-armed one defender, but that bought enough time for the defense of Mountain View to get the penetration, get him stopped. And again, not much there, probably a little bit of a loss.
39.
The pitch and a reverse. Parker looking for a block, has the 1st down and much more. Parker's inside the 10, and he's dropped with a late flag coming in. Parker's dropped, looks right around the 8 or 9 yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
I'm wondering if there might have been a late hit there, Paul.
To see where they spotted and what the flag is.
Let's see what the officials have to say.
Personal foul against.
Now that is going to hurt because a personal foul never goes unpunished.
No,
so if that went
no.
to the 8, I mean, that's going to put them way back with their backs to the wall.
Push him down around the 4 yard line. Let's
That's
see
right.
where they put it.
First and
And
goal ball on the 4.
so it'll be 1st and goal from the 4. So Los Altos knocking on the door.
And that was a brilliant reverse. I don't think
That was.
Mountain View ever saw that coming, especially if you saw how they lined up. It looked like they were just going to go for either a quarterback sneak or just a dive into the line, and they didn't even see it coming. So the Spartans are going to probably get a talking to from their defensive coordinator a little later on.
So some discussion with the officials. Ben Parker was running something off on the far side of the field and actually was out of bounds and tried to come back in, and I think they might be forcing them to substitute out Parker because of the injury, because they slowed down play and stopped the clock for it. So, yeah, Parker will come off.
All right, and then he's going to be replaced by Rocky Hidalgo.
Rocky Hidalgo coming in.
Just as long as they have their 11 guys, I guess that's what they need.
You need 11.
Any more than that, you got a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So Hidalgo under center.
Hand off to number 4.
Ball carrier is number 4, Tyler Calderon. And Calderon gets down maybe to the 2.
Almost there.
Yeah, short gain on there by Tyler. Another one of the seniors that they were talking about earlier before our broadcast began, and he's trying to make the best of this, which is going to be his last Pride Bowl.
Sure.
They're a senior.
I like seeing that by the coach to go ahead and give the kid a chance. And you know, when you're on the 4 yard line, short gains are okay because you just need four yards to get into the end zone.
Well,
so they'll take that. 2nd down and goal. Calderon throws to the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete, but there was a flag on the play.
I couldn't see whether his feet were in, but the officials have something to say to us anyway.
It is a procedure call against Los Altos.
False start, I believe.
So that will back it up 5 yards. Put it back on the 9 yard line.
Still 2nd and goal.
So 2nd and goal from the 9.
The 9, or is it the 7? I can't tell from here.
It looks like 2nd. 2nd and goal from, could be the 8. I think it's the 8 yard line.
That's a good diplomatic
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. Hidalgo from the shotgun. Hidalgo keeps it himself, fakes the handoff, and Hidalgo will ramble into the end zone for the touchdown. As Rocky Hidalgo faked the handoff and then took it himself into the end zone for the touchdown. Another look at it.
Well, the thing that I found interesting about that is that he is the leading gainer on the Eagle team. Okay, no one has gained more yards than him. He's also the passing leader for the Eagles. Well, now there was a margin of 1 yard between passing and running. Well, I think he may have widened that just a little bit, and the Eagles have widened their lead over the Spartans.
Indeed, a 13-0 lead pending the extra point. Harry Allen out to attempt it.
Harry Allen, the kicker for the PAT.
Snap, spot, kick is up. The kick is good. A break in the action with 6 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the first half. The Eagles in the lead 14-0. Harry Allen out to go ahead and kick off once again to the Mountain View Spartans, as the Spartans now trail by 14 here in the second quarter.
And not only is that unusual for them to be trailing at this point in the game, Paul, it's unusual for them to be trailing on the road. They have a better road record than they have at home, and yet here they are down 14.
Kick goes into the end zone for an automatic touchback. It'll bring it out to the 20-yard line where Mountain View will set up shop. 1st and 10 at the 20. And they got some catching up to do.
That they do.
So how'd your son's soccer team do today?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Paul. He's on a team called the Green Toxics, and they're over in Mountain View. They've had a run of hard luck because not many people showing up to the games, players having other things to do, but they won their first game today, 4-2. Great job, Stephen. Love you. I'll see you tonight.
Good for them. Ball carrier was Sam Gill, and Gill gets over the 20 out close to the 23. Actually 20, almost 23 we'll say.
Couldn't quite see. Was that an off tackle run or did he dive in?
He came in from the almost like a counter.
Mm-hmm.
So 2nd down and 7 for Mountain View. Give again to Gill. The ball may be on the ground. There's a scramble.
Los Altos says they have it.
And it is Los Altos football again. It's another turnover by the Spartans.
What a job that this Eagles defense is doing. I mean, if you take a look at the penetration that they have, if you see how they're reading everything that Mountain View is going to do, it's almost scary how telepathic it is. And now Los Altos has the ball again, deep in Spartan territory. And they're knocking on the door of getting a 20-0 lead.
Yes. Got the ball at the 21-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Hidalgo out of the shotgun. Has time, has a ton of time, throws towards the end zone and incomplete, intended for number 85. That's Isaiah McPherson.
And Isaiah is quite a guy. I have him as a student, and he is one of those never say die kids. And even though he really tried his best on that, and he has quarterback it all the time in the world, you can't grow 3 feet if you're in the end zone looking for a pass. You can jump, but you can't grow that far.
No, people have growth spurts, but usually not that quickly in the middle of a football game.
Quite honestly, I don't know if Dwight Clark could have caught that one. That's a historical football reference for those of you who are paying attention.
Google it. Hidalgo under center. Reverse again. Coming around Keenan Hanley, and Hanley. Excuse me, that is Ben Parker on the ball carrier. Ben Parker is pushed out inside the 10. at about the 7-yard line. Another look.
Take a look at that again. Okay, so that reverse, and they haven't learned their lesson yet. The Spartans haven't. So he's doing an end run there, gets away from one, gets away from another, and probably pushed out. I thought it might have been inside the 5, but it was certainly, no, marked at about the 6 is what I can see from there, Paul.
It does look like it is at the 6, where it'll be first down and goal. The referee wanting to.
It's just amazing to me the amount of balance that these young men have. If they're going to be doing a sideline run like that, it reminds me of great receivers who also have great balance. I'm talking about people like Pierre Garçon and John Stallworth, people down through the ages who can, you know, just walk a tightrope just to get that extra yard.
Hidalgo under center. 3-step drop, throws towards quarter of the end zone, leaping and coming down with the catch, I believe. Yes, touchdown, Los Altos. Vincent Kolodny on the receiving end.
The way that they're orchestrating this offense, it's just incredible. Take a look. There's 3-step drop. He had all the time in the world, and his receiver had to put in an effort there, and he did take a bit of a bump after he caught the ball, but by that time, the paint was dry.
He is a good-sized tight end at 6'3", 223, so that's a nice target to have when he want to go into the end zone.
Well, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and he certainly fell hard, but he's got 21 points to take home with him.
Yes, he does. 4:52 to go here in the first half. Los Altos has pushed out to a 21-0 lead. Enjoying that Los Altos lead as the kick goes into the end zone. Harry Allen has progressively kicked the ball further into the end zone each time, and this one almost completely out of the end zone. So Mountain View will set up shop again. First and 10 at the 20.
Well, you know, the thing I keep thinking about, Paul, is this is a Pride Bowl, and you cannot make these kinds of mistakes. 2 costly fumbles, a couple of turnovers on downs. The Spartans have made all the key mistakes in this game, and you're looking at the score. I don't know that they've ever been down this much this early in a game.
And we'll see how well they can come back from it. As it is first and 10, they give to Gill, so they go right back to Sam. And he fights his way for maybe a yard. It'll bring up a second down and 9. Good news on the cheerleading front. The Los Altos cheerleaders are now here. So they're
obviously they were off.
They were getting ready.
Well, they were doing their history homework.
There you go.
At least a few of them were.
So
you've
been piling on the homework again, huh?
I tell them that it's optional on Saturdays.
Oh, all right. Just make sure you do it on Sunday.
Right.
Rolling to his right, setting, throwing, and complete over the middle.
Wow.
To number 41. That's Ethan Starr.
Take a look at that again. I mean, Ethan, not known for being a receiver. He's played fullback a few times, but at 5'11", 182, and he was able to leap and snag that down. And, you know, more power to him. A great kid and a great catch. And
Mountain View on the play has made a quarterback change, as number 15 is now in at quarterback.
That's Andrew Bice, I think.
All right. Give up the middle to Capote, and Capote gets that momentum going.
That was Osvaldo Arellano there, okay, on the tackle. We hadn't heard much from him so far today, but when he met that runner, he said, "How do you do? We have not met properly, have we?" But nonetheless, it looks like they picked up another first down.
They did get the first down, get the ball out to the 42-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10. And a timeout called by Mountain View. A break in the action, a minute and 14 seconds. Excuse me. Yes, a minute 14. This scoreboard is hard to read. Minute 14 to go here in the first half. 21-0 Los Altos. So coming out of the timeout, it'll be Mountain View ball, first down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Andrew Bice is the new quarterback for Mountain View, sophomore.
Yeah. What's up?
And a whistle, and now Los Altos wants to further discuss. So a couple of coffee breaks in a row here, and no change in the time. 1:14 to go in the half. It's still 21-0 Los Altos. There they are, the Los Altos cheerleaders. You've always got to show both sides. You got to show Los Altos and Mountain View.
Yep, equal time.
Equal time.
Even in this district, maybe especially in this district.
First and 10.
Bice rolls to his left, now sets up, throws out into the flat, and just behind his intended receiver.
That was Michael Capote. Yeah. Now, Michael Capote is not known for being an offensive receiver. Actually, not any kind of receiver. He's an offensive lineman. He's also played on the other side of the trenches in the defense. 6'1", 215. I guess they're trying to do some flexibility, but if you're down 21 points, you're going to take any solution.
Yeah, exactly. Try everything. The give to Capote, and running like a truck, he picks up the first down. He just kept those legs going, kept that shoulder down, weaved his way through the Los Altos defense, gets down to the 46-yard line of Los Altos, where it'll be first down and 10.
Let's take a look there. Well, there's the give to Capote. He bounced off one tackler, and I don't think Tepepa really knew what hit him in that, because he's getting up and saying, what or who was that? And those legs kept going and into Eagle territory.
Looking to pass, swings it out, and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 20.
Intended for Jacob Cortinas, but it falls incomplete. And I was way off on the amount of time left. It's 2:51 now left, so that 3 looked like a 1 on the scoreboard to me, so it's time to go to the eye doctor again.
Well, I think Cortinas might have been trying to catch one out of the backfield, because he's usually a running back and not a very big guy. So it probably made sense for them to try to do a swing pass to him, so that hoping he'd be able to use his speed to his advantage, but in and out of the hands.
So second down and 10. Pye straight back to pass. Big, deep drop. Now he's going to tuck it under and try to run, but a little too late, as it allowed the Los Altos defense to react to him. And he's dropped for a loss.
That was Angel Romero who got the tackle there, and he's played all over the defensive line. Another senior on his way out. He's going to be remembering this one for a long time to come.
Third down and 11. Bice with the give, and nothing doing. Great job by the Los Altos defense to stay home, as the ball carrier was Ethan Starr, and there was nowhere to go.
Well, now Mountain View's got to make a decision, Paul. They probably not going to try to go for it. Yeah, here we can see that again. Okay, there's the give. Everything's fine until he gets across the line of scrimmage, and then everything kind of falls apart. So that's got to be disappointing. I think that was Danny Olson who had the run there.
It was Danny Olson.
So now Mountain View, as I was saying, they need to make a decision. Do they have a good, strong kicker? I don't really think they're going to try to go for it with 4th and, what is it, 11?
It's 4th and 9.
9.
But they're at the 44-yard line of Los Altos. They might want to try to pin him back a little bit. There's just about 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Well, we'll see how good their kicking game is, not just in terms of power, but in terms of position.
Los Altos took the timeout to go ahead and stop the clock, and looks like they are going to punt it away, as their punter, Ozzy Ortiz Verde, is on the field. So Ben Parker, in turn, will go deep to receive for Los Altos. punt is away, end over end. That's going to hit around the 8-yard line and roll inside the 5 and will be down right about the 2-yard line. A great punt by Ortiz Verdi, and we've got a Los Altos Eagle down on the field around midfield where they will check on him. So we've got a break in the action. A minute 47 to go here in the first half. 21-0 Los Altos. So he's all right. He's coming off to the sidelines.
Ryan Bolanos is a great big guy, 6'1", 250, and he may be feeling that one for a little while.
Yeah. So in the shadows of their own goalposts, Los Altos at their 2-yard line. Give up the middle, and McDermott gets out close to the 5-yard line.
Los Altos surges up the middle for about a 3-yard.
Be interesting to see what they do in terms of clock management here, Paul. I mean, we're less than 2 minutes away from halftime, and Los Altos may be just trying to eat it up and not leave any time on the clock for the Spartans.
Exactly, sure. You know, unless they were to break off a big play here, they're just going to go ahead and.
Yeah, they won't be saying no to more points. Don't misunderstand me.
Exactly. But when you're this deep, you just don't want to turn the ball over this close to your own end zone.
Absolutely.
And change the complexity of the game. And boy, trying to get to the outside was McDermott, and that was almost a disastrous play as it was brought down right around the. Looks like they'll spot it. And the 1?
Yeah, I think they may have lost 2 or 3 yards on that play. Okay, so here's the handoff to McDermott, and he almost gets caught even in the backfield. So he was lucky to avoid the safety.
Exactly. So with that, Mountain View will take a timeout to try to save some time. A minute 5 to go in the first half. 21-0 Los Altos. Shot of one of our camera people here today. All of our volunteers out here working hard in the hot sun.
And we're back into play.
But cooler than it has been this week, Paul.
That's true. 3rd down and 10. Pitch into the end zone. And coming out was, I believe it was Ben Parker. And Ben Parker will get out close to the 5-yard lines. He certainly didn't appear to be in any hurry to get out of the end zone, but he did end up picking up 4 yards on the play.
Well, as long as he did get out of it. I was really surprised at that. That's a real gamble that you're taking. And with the Mountain View defense really smelling a safety, that was a chance that I don't think a lot of coaches would have taken.
So a punting situation for Los Altos. They're content to allow the clock to continue to run. We're down to 25 seconds to go in the half.
Harry Allen's going to be the kicker.
You know, it'll be very interesting to see the first 2 possessions in the 3rd quarter, Paul, and see how these teams react to both the lead and the deficit.
And a delay of game penalty is taken by Los Altos, which is also kind of gutsy because you're now putting the ball back on the 2-yard line and giving your punter only about a 11-yard cushion. See if Mountain View tries to come after the punt block here.
Well, you better have a good long snapper if you're going to be in that kind of situation.
Snap, punt is away, and it's just a punt straight out of bounds. It's about all he could do. Boy, that's going to be spotted close to around the 10-yard line. Let's see where that seemed like it just took off straight for the sideline.
Yeah, Mountain View is going to have, that is a gift from the Eagles to the Spartans at this point. They're going to have red zone possession.
It's at the 5-yard line.
Wow.
That punt went out of bounds at the 5. Yeah, I'm not sure you wanted to take the delay of game on that punt because they got 5 seconds to go, and they got a shot to go into the end zone. This could be a game changer for Mountain View if they can convert.
Well, if they had more time, if it was me, Paul, I would say let's take one shot at the end zone and then see if you can get your kicker on the field. But I guess they must feel at this point that maybe they better get the 7.
Well, let's see what this sophomore Andrew Bice can do because he comes trotting out into the huddle. And Mountain View breaks the huddle.
First and goal, Spartans.
How much? 6 seconds.
They want 6 seconds on the clock instead of 5, so they'll tick it up 1.
Well, they've only got to go 5 yards. I don't know if another second's going to make a difference, but
But to your point about the field goal, now they've got 1 more second from the 5 to get the ball quickly into the end zone.
well, we'll see how much time this first snap will take.
It's going to be a run, and they're going nowhere. And I don't believe they have any timeouts. There's a flag on the play. We're at halftime. We'll see what the flag is about.
And whether it's going to get imposed now or in the second half.
It appears the penalty was against Mountain View. So that will end the first half. We are at halftime, 21-0, Los Altos. Our KMVT intern on the far right side. And here are some highlights from the first half.
Well, it's like I was saying earlier, Paul. The Spartans have made all the key mistakes in this game. Turnovers by downs, 2 costly fumbles, not being able to read the offensive scheme. In a Pride Bowl, you can't make those kinds of mistakes. And so far, the Spartans have made all those mistakes. It's been all Los Altos Eagles.
That is very true, very true. And the Eagles are going to be kicking off to start the second half, which is certainly not the position you want to be in when you trail 21-0.
I think you mean the Spartans are.
Excuse me, the Spartans, yes.
Yeah, it seems to me the Spartans have to get that first one if they're going to have any hope of coming back in this game. Go in like it's 0-0 and then play like it's 27, 21-14 and then build on it. Now, I think that Trevor Pruitt has got to say to his boys, there's 1 more half left. We can't pull in our tent. We can't stop now.
Kick is away and taken by McDermott. And the ball might be loose. There's a scramble for it.
The Spartans think they have it.
Yeah. We'll see what the officials say. The officials disagree. The officials will keep it with Los Altos. So Mountain View briefly thought they had a flash of a turnaround and momentum, but all to naught.
Well, that would have been a very lucky move. As it was, that was a heck of a run back. And he really put a lot of effort into that to get the run back that he did, because now they're looking at what, 1st and 10 on the 34?
They are. As Los Altos will come up to the line of scrimmage, Rocky Hidalgo under center, and they stopping the clock. Again, the officials.
Yeah, we got it.
They want 11:40 on the clock, so.
Well, this is where it really starts to matter, how much time you have left. If you are Mountain View, every second is going to count.
That's right.
And particularly if Los Altos, once they start their offensive machine, if they show any sign of letting up, Mountain View better take advantage of it.
So Hidalgo with a counter play and some good yards. The ball pops out of the hands of Ben Parker, but Parker's able to gather it back in and get into Mountain View territory as he gets down to the 47.
Just take a look at this. He was able, talk about instincts. Okay, a ball did come loose, and he reached back and got it. This is a young man who's been eating his Wheaties.
So a first down for Los Altos on their first play from scrimmage here in the second half.
That is 2 bullets in a row that the Eagles have dodged there, Paul.
Exactly.
And they cannot afford to make those kinds of mistakes if they're going to hold on to this lead or build on it.
Fake pitch to give again. Again, I believe, to Ben Parker, and Parker gets down inside the 45-yard line to the 43-yard line.
This makes sense, this strategy that the Eagles are using right now. Since they have a lead like this, they're probably going to stop throwing, start running the ball a little bit more, and it may not make a difference to them whether they make first downs. Of course, they'd like to, but they better start thinking about what they're going to do to manage the clock if they can hold on to this lead.
Hidalgo out of the shotgun. Has some time. Now the pocket collapsing a little bit. Scrambles to his left. Throws the ball, is blocked and knocked down. Falls harmlessly to the ground for an incomplete pass. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
I got to give props to Rocky Hidalgo there for not taking the sack because there was a whole lot of pressure coming at him. Okay, so he fakes, moving to the left, but now he's just running for his life, and he thought he had a receiver, and then probably not a whole lot of chance that would have been complete even if he had gotten it off.
Hidalgo under center. Pitch and then a pitch back. As Ari Guzman around the left corner and is met right around the 40-yard line.
It's going to be well short of the first down, though, Paul.
Will be 4th down and 4.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. Okay, it looked like a reverse there, and he's hoping that he has a wedge that will be able to block for him, but you can see that the Spartans just tore it apart. So I think he was met right at the 40-yard line. That was probably about 4 yards shy of the first down. And again, it's decision time for Trevor Pruitt.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for it.
Not a bad move.
21-point lead, and the clock's running. Pass out in the flat is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Went for Ari Guzman on the play.
That was good coverage there on Mountain View. Yeah, let's take a look at that again. All right, he's making a quick throw there. Didn't take him too much time to get that off. And then just as that ball flies in and out, there's Osvaldo Ortiz Verdi ready to make the stop.
40-yard line.
So 1st down for Mountain View right at the 40-yard line.
This is where Mountain View's adjustments, if they've made any, this is where they're going to be proved.
Andrew Bice drops back in trouble, gets the throw away in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was intended for number 42, who I don't have on my visiting roster.
No, I don't have him either.
But he was unable to come up with it. Let her look at it.
Yep. He saw that he had pressure coming. He realized he better get it off. And in and out, and 42, whomever that young man is, he's going to be kicking himself for a little while because that was 1st down city right there.
That was a nice pass under the circumstances by Bice also. It's a nice-looking sophomore quarterback they got here. Give up the middle, Capote, and he gets out to the 42-yard line.
And that was Angel Romero on the stop there. Very quick handoff there. Obviously, they had that right clocked up, and he didn't get a whole lot of yardage on that one. But that was Capote, all 6'1" and 215 of him, and he got stopped. I think there were a couple of Eagles there on that stop because if you get that kind of momentum, it's going to be very hard to stop. It's like a runaway train if you don't have bulk to meet it with.
3rd down and 7. Bice rolls to his right, has time, throws, and tipped away by a Los Altos defender.
That was even Bayer Murphy, and he very nearly picked that one off. He was Murphy playing linebacker on that one, Paul, and you can see that Bice coming around almost to the line of scrimmage finally gets it off, and there was so much good coverage on that. I don't think Ethan Starr would have been able to catch that one, but it's not out of disrespect for Ethan Starr, but out of great respect for Evan Bayer Murphy.
So 4th down punting situation for Mountain View. Deep to receive is Ben Parker for Los Altos.
Ben Parker in the backfield.
punt is away. It's a line drive that will take a hop for Mountain View towards the end zone, and it'll stop and die and be kept. They're going to call it a touchback as the Mountain View player went into the end zone to reach back out and touch it. As he did his best to kill it there. Another look.
That's a tough break for the Spartans. You can see there was actually a really good kick, and their coverage was pretty good. And there's the Los Altos receiver deciding, no, I better not try for this one. And he stumbled, and oh my goodness, that is going to hurt. That was Kevin Sanchez that bounced into the end zone, trying really hard to get it, keep it in bounds, not quite enough.
Great effort by the Spartans, just could not stop it from getting into the yard. Kept their own momentum, taking themselves into the end zone.
But you got to say a lot about the Mountain View kicking game, though, Paul. They've been able to get some really well-placed punts. We haven't seen any place kicks from them yet, but we've still got a lot of football left to play.
That's true. Now, Ortiz Verde's been doing a great job punting the ball. And so first down for Los Altos at the 20-yard line. Hidalgo out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. He looks to his right now, looks for a middle screen. It is complete with some room to run. I believe it was Ben Parker, and Parker gets outside the 30 to the 34-yard line, and a very late flag comes in.
I think that might have been a face mask, but we'll see what happens. Okay, screen pass, good completion, good wedge there, and yet with the tackle, he went head over over Patute on that tackle. So I'm wondering if he might have been grabbed by the face mask.
No, they just said it was an unsportsmanlike conduct. So with the flag coming that late, oftentimes that's what it will be, is unsportsmanlike, and it's a 15-yard penalty against the Spartans. So they've got to keep their composure down there.
Yeah, not to say that what they did was right, Paul, but if you're down that much in a game that is this storied and has this much rivalry, this much emotion to it, it's understandable that you'd get carried away. Doesn't make it right, just makes it understandable.
Pitch to Guzman, and Guzman picks up some positive yardage, gets down inside Mountain View territory as he picks up about 5 yards. Looks like it'll be a second down and 5 on the play. So Hari Guzman's been effective today.
The pitches, we've seen a lot of those today on both sides, and not bad coverage. I don't know that they were looking for a gain longer than that, and they did have really good timing on that. There's another angle on the same play, and we are where we are.
Hidalgo from the shotgun. Fake the give to McDermott, and McDermott maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they will give him that. It'll bring up a third down and 5.
And I think that might have
Keenan
been
Hanley, I'm sorry. Take a look.
Okay, yeah, there's a faked handoff. Okay, and then he never even got out of the backfield on that. And if I'm not mistaken, that might have been Verdi on the stop.
He's Verdi everywhere.
Here a Verdi, there a Verdi, everywhere a Verdi.
Doggo looks right, throws right, pass is blocked again by the Mountain View defense. Brings up a 4th down.
And not very good field position. So Los Altos offense kind of stalling on that one. And there's Hidalgo taking the snap. Didn't look like he was in a particular rush, or it didn't look as if he had to get rid of that ball. He might have been a little bit impatient on that one, Paul.
So 4th down, a punting situation. Ozzy Ortiz Verde deep to receive for Mountain View.
Allen has...
tough snap, and then in trouble, throws downfield, and it is incomplete. Ortiz Verdi taking it as if it was a punt, but it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I don't think it works the same way between a punt and an incomplete pass. But that one is all on the long snapper. I don't know who was the playing the center on that particular one, but that was just not well executed.
No.
Let's take a look at that again. Okay, well, that's a kind of a wide angle on that. Well, we can see that Harry Allen really couldn't do much else. Tried to do sort of a Garo Upremian on that, try to roll left, just try to get the ball out of there. And even if it had been caught, at least they probably would have dropped Verdi back in Spartan territory.
Spartan is going to gain possession.
So it is first down for Mountain View.
First down, Mountain View. Ball on their own 47-yard line.
Ball is at the 47-yard line.
Let's see if they'll be able to take advantage of this.
First and 10.
Pice surveys the defense for Los Altos.
Hand off to number 20.
The give to Cortinas. And Cortinas may have coughed it up, and he did. Turned over to Los Altos.
Los Altos Eagles.
And the mistakes on the Spartan offense continue to pile up. It's just got to be incredibly defeating for their coaching staff. So there's Bice waiting for the snap, coming out of a 2-receiver set. He hands off. Okay, and right around when he crossed the 50-yard line, I think that may have been when it was popped out. Great job on coverage by the Eagles, and once again, they're in the driver's seat.
So first down, Los Altos at their own 48-yard line. 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Give up the middle, and a plethora of Eagles push forward.
There's an SAT word for you. I think it's a gain of 4 on that one.
Yeah, it's a nice play.
Yeah, but that is definitely what I would call a group effort tackle. Forward progress is going to put him into Spartan territory.
So went from 148 to the other 48, pick up a 4, second down and 6.
Let's see if the Spartan defense is getting a little fatigued at this point. They've been on the field a lot in this game, Paul.
Pitch to Ari Guzman, and Guzman has a hole and tries to slip between two tacklers, is unable to, but he still has plenty of yardage for the first down, gets down inside the 35-yard line to the 34-yard line.
So a great run there along the sideline. Okay, he had to get between those two tacklers. Actually got hit from behind. That was Una Kaufuzi. Tackle and a defensive end, senior, 6'1" and 230, come crashing down on him, but by that time the damage had been done.
Hidalgo under center. The give to, I believe it's Parker.
He did a little jumping around there. I maybe picked up a couple of yards.
Gets down to the 31-yard line, so we'll pick up a 3. It'll be second down and 7.
The nice thing for the Los Altos, though, is that Ben Parker has one more year at the high school. So he's going to be a force for the Eagles next year, and they may be able to get some more wins in the win column.
Hidalgo to pass, throws over the middle, and nobody there, falls incomplete. Bring up a third down and 7.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit too instinctive there. I don't think he was patient enough. Kind of checked down kind of quickly with that. And I know it was probably intended for Vincent Alodny, but I'm not sure that anybody could have. That's Kolodny, I beg your pardon. But I'm not sure anybody could have caught that one.
Third down and 7. Pitch and then the reverse. And it's not going to be enough for the first down. It's down inside the 30-yard line. It'll bring up a fourth down as Ben Parker.
Is that the fourth time that they've run that play in this game, Paul? Have you been keeping track of that?
I have not, but it's we've seen this play quite a bit, going either way, going left and right.
Mm-hmm. And it's been effective, but I'm wondering if the Spartans may have kind of gotten the number for that particular play.
They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Now, they were not successful the last time they did this in Spartan territory. Of course, they had farther to go, so we'll see what happens this time.
The pitch, Parker. Parker has some room, has the 1st down and more. Puts on a burst of speed, and into the end zone he goes. Ben Parker with some nice running there, changing speeds, throwing tacklers off, and roaming into the end zone for the touchdown to make it a 27-0 lead.
Take a look at how he adjusts to the pressure. He gets by one tackler, then he realizes, okay, where is the sideline? Where am I? Where is the end zone? He balances all of those out, adjusts his speed, adjusts his footwork, and there's another 6 for the Eagles. Amazing run there by Ben Parker.
Harry Allen on for the extra point.
With Parker holding.
Snap, spot, kick is up, and the kick is good. So a break in the action with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. It is 28-0 Los Altos.
KMVT Sports is brought to you with help from our sponsor, Altos Mobile Massage. Massage has been proven to reduce stress and improve well-being. Healthier and happier employees do better work. Altos Mobile Massage brings the massage to you. Sometimes a little pressure is a good thing.
Sam Gill and Jacob Cortinas deep to receive for Mountain View. The kick is a line drive that takes a hop right to Sam Gill. Gill looks to hand off. He does. Give it to Cortinas. Cortinas is just tripped up as he had a big hole up the middle. But a nice tackle by Los Altos to bring him down right around the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles.
You know, Paul, I don't think I've seen a handoff on a kick return since Cal did all those laterals against Stanford in the big game in 1982.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, and it's a day that I don't really like reliving too much because I've always been a Stanford boy. My father, God rest his soul, graduated from that place in 1956.
Wow, good for
Wanted
him.
me to go there, and I said I didn't want to. And he said, but you can live at home. I said, that's why I don't want to go there.
Oh, ouch. Pass complete out in the flat to number 7. I don't have on my roster.
Well, let me do some digging here for you,
See if
Paul.
you
That
got
is,
that.
I don't have a number 7 either.
All right, so Andrew Bice completes the pass to Lucky 7. So it'll be a 2nd down and 6 for Mountain View.
The unknown receiver.
The unknown receivers. See, late in the season when they start bringing these kids up, that's when we sometimes you lose track of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Handoff up the middle, and Capote fights for some yardage. Gets outside the 35 to the 38-yard line, brings up a 3rd and 2.
Capote is a big guy, 6'1", 215. And even though he didn't have a whole lot of momentum to start with, that was a pretty quick handoff. He was able to make a fairly impressive dent in that Los Altos defensive line. I'm impressed.
Give up the middle again, and this time nothing doing as they met Capote at the line of scrimmage. They might give him some forward momentum close to the 39.5-yard line, but he's going to be short of the 1st down. But Mountain View may just go for it, trailing by 28.
Oh,
They got nothing to lose.
No, I definitely think they should go for it, but I don't know that they got anything off that last run. This isn't the first time that these two teams have been to the well once too often with the same play.
Mountain View looks like they are going to go for it.
And nothing doing as they fake the handoff, and that time I think Capote might have had the 1st down, and Bice kept it, and Bice is sacked in the backfield, and a turnover on downs to Los Altos.
Vincent Kolodny in there again, number 88. All 6'3", 223 pounds of him coming right at Bice, and Bice had absolutely no place to go. So once again, Mountain View not able to come through in the clutch, and they're pinned back in their own territory, and the Los Altos offensive machine is on the move again.
Hidalgo under center. Pitch to Guzman. Guzman gets over the 35-yard line and down to about the 32, it looks like. Better look at it.
Yeah. Came from a little bit of a deficit there. He was way back in the backfield, but he did manage to get a good pickup, and that's Una Kafusi, the senior from Mountain View, who made the stop.
Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter of play.
Remember the seniors, many of them have played for 4 years. This may be the last few amount of plays that they have.
Second down and 4. The reverse to Parker, and boy, they tried to contain him, but Parker just kept going. He's still on his feet. He's down inside the 10-yard line. And Ben Parker, it looked like Mountain View was finally going to have him corralled on that play, but he just eluded them and got himself down inside the 10.
Well, Mountain View had some really good penetration on that on the left side. I don't think they saw the reverse, but once they knew it, okay, they converged on him. He was able to turn the corner and gave a stiff arm right there, and a pretty violent one, if you ask me, to Jason Dulligan, and that brings them back into the red zone.
So first and goal at the 9-yard line. Hidalgo out of the shotgun, throws a drift into the end zone, and up and down with it is Kolodny, as he made that look easy, as Vincent Kolodny. They just threw it high, and he went up high and came down with it for the touchdown to make it a 34-0 Los Altos lead.
It is really impressive how much confidence Rocky Hidalgo has in himself and his receivers. He knew exactly where he needed to put that ball, and Vincent Kolodny knew exactly where he needed to be. Mountain View knew, I think, it was coming. They just didn't think that they could stop it, and in fact, they didn't.
Well, and there was a penalty on the play.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Which backs it up. So there is no touchdown.
So that's been taken back then.
They took it back, and they've taken the ball back to the 14-yard line, where it will be second and goal from the 14. Excuse me, first and goal from the 14.
All right. Did you see what the call was?
I did not. I got there just as he was finishing. So they go for the same thing again, and Kolodny is there again, and I do not see any flags on the field.
So this one is for the books.
So he touchdown. Almost looked like Kolodny pushed off a little bit in the end zone, but he came down for the touchdown. Let her look.
Nope. Coming back, they'd say, okay, you want to push us 10 yards out? We'll do it again. We'll show you that we can do it. And Kolodny beat his defender yet again.
Carbon copy of the last play there.
And yes, it was exactly like the last one with the same result. And this time, the Eagles are going to take it home.
Now it really is 34-0. Pending the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up. And the kick is good. A break in the action with 42 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It is 35-0 Los Altos. More of our volunteers here today, standing out in the sunshine.
Yeah, and those guys, those cameramen, they don't miss a thing. What a crew.
They do a great job. Great job. Kick goes just short of the end zone. Cortinas picks it up at the 1. Gets some good yardage out of it. Still on his feet. And gets out over the 35-yard line. So a nice return by Jacob Cortinas.
Do we have an Eagle down in the backfield?
We do. Another look at it.
Yep. He kind of muffed the reception, but then he just took off like a rocket. And that, I think, may be the longest return we've had all day for either team.
It was, and that was a very, very nice return. But we've got a man down on the field, so we've got a break in the action with 33 seconds to go. It is 35-0 Los Altos.
We're a mobile massage company, and we bring massage therapy and yoga to the corporate workplace.
We started this business in order to bring more awareness to corporations for health and wellness.
This is a nice perk that they can offer their employees, and it says, hey, we care about your well-being. We look forward to bringing massage therapy and yoga into your corporate workplace.
Shot of some of the cheerleaders here joining the day. The injured player was Sam Aoki. He came off with some help from his teammates. Pass out into the flat is complete for Mountain View.
Tell you, Sam Aoki is quite a competitor there, and he was being walked off by Sean Diamond, who's an alumnus of this Eagle squad, somebody that I taught in civics last year and one of my favorite people to talk football with. He's at the University of Arizona now, all-around good kid.
J.D. Coyne is back in at quarterback for Mountain View. Give up the middle to Capote. He gets the first down, and with that, he will end the quarter. So we have played 3. It is 35-0 Los Altos. So it will be Mountain View. And I believe we have gone to a running clock because I saw the official talking to our booth people here, and the only time they would stop it would be on a touchdown. So once they whistle it, the clock will start.
And that adds a whole new dynamic. I mean, now it's a forced hurry-up offense,
yes,
in effect, and that will probably not be the greatest thing for the Spartans because they haven't worked well with it so far in this game.
No, Capote picked up maybe a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
Well, this is, if things keep going the way they are, this is not a game that the Mountain View Spartans are going to remember very fondly, Paul. Lot of missed opportunities and a lot of mistakes that they probably shouldn't have made, given the record that they have and the talent that they have on this team.
Very true.
First and 10.
In trouble, trying to get elude the and cannot get away from it as Coyne tried to get away.
Yeah, that was J.D. Coyne. And I got to hand it to him. I mean, he was very persistent on that. It would have been very easy for him to take the sack or to try to get out of there. But he was just looking for, you know, I can find a receiver, I can find a receiver. Time ran out on him.
And a timeout is called by Los Altos. So a break in the action with 10:44 to go in the ball game. They lead 35-0.
We're rolling, and we're live.
So Mountain View will break the huddle and come straight to the line of scrimmage.
Third and 16.
A reverse by Mountain View. Sam Gill has the ball. And Sam Gill has the first down, gets down inside the 40-yard line to the 38-yard line.
You know, we've talked a lot, Paul, about the Los Altos seniors because, of course, it's our last time that we'll be seeing them on their home field. But the Mountain View seniors, this is their last Pride Bowl, too. And Sam Gill, senior and running back and linebacker, is saying, hey, I'm going to make something of myself for this today. But, unfortunately, what's going to be bringing that back now?
It's going to be a hold. So it'll remain third down. It'll be 3rd and 13.
Maybe 12.
All right.
Yeah. That's got to be frustrating. Story of the day for the Spartans, unfortunately.
Pitch. Capote gets knocked out of bounds. That was around the 48-yard line, I believe.
That was quite a hit that he took just there.
He did.
So kind of a shovel pass into the backfield, hoping to make something out of it. He gets to the 50, and kaboom, he's met there by, I think that might have been Miguel Tepepa. Yes, it was.
So it'll bring up a 4th down and about 7.
I don't think there's any question here. They're going to go for it, Paul.
Well, correct. Yeah.
Looks like Mountain View will be going for it.
No reason not to.
Yeah, exactly. Run the pitch play again. Capote again, and again he's got his legs cut out from under him. And he is short of the 1st down. It'll be a turnover on downs to Los Altos.
And with 8 minutes left, I think if I were Trevor Pruitt at this point, I would be going exclusively to my ground game. No reason to exert themselves anymore.
Exactly.
Just trying to eat up the clock. And I was talking about that earlier, if you remember, but I think at this, with the last 10 minutes of the game, because you don't want to start that too soon. But I think at this point, the Eagles are they're in a great position.
They are. And you might start seeing some of the seniors who haven't had a lot of playing time coming out and playing a little bit at
or we
this
might
point
see some
in time
of the,
too.
Or the underclassmen that haven't
or some
played
of them,
yet.
Yeah. Give up the middle, good yardage. The pile continues to move forward and is inside of Spartan territory. Looks like it'll be down to around the 47-yard line of Mountain View. Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4.
Well, they may be able to get another 6 points with just the running game at this point.
Los Altos substituting a lot of players.
Yep. And Paul, you called it. A lot of substitutions, a lot of people who maybe haven't seen a lot of downs at this point. Might as well give them the experience.
Heck yeah. They practice all week too.
Mm-hmm.
Verse to the outside. It's Ben Parker, and Parker is tackled out of bounds. No flag.
No, I thought I saw a flag there.
Did you see one? All right.
No, there is one. I was thrown at about the 45.
Another look at it.
Okay. It was thrown at about the 45, so I'm not really no. Missed it there. But there was a flag unless it was dropped.
No, they're backing it up. It was just
that was
against
the Eagles, but I didn't see what the foul was.
I'm not sure he's made the call yet, so I'm going to hopefully see holding against Los Altos. So to make it a 2nd down and a long 11.
After the penalties assessed, it's going to be 2nd and 11. Los Altos back in their own territory.
Doggo with the pitch. Guzman is met in the backfield. Might have lost about a yard. We'll see where they spot it.
Looks that way. You can begin to see the frustration on the part of the Spartan defense. I mean, they're just realizing.
Another look.
Another look, and that just wasn't well executed. They didn't get their blocks in on that one.
3rd and 12 for Los Altos. Pitch the fake reserve. Guzman, it's past one tackler and then is enveloped by a couple of other Spartans. Another look.
That may have been Teva Frietas that got in on the stop there. We thought he might have been looking for another reverse. He managed to knocked over one man, but that bought enough time for the rest of the defense to get in and make the stop. That may be a 4th and 8 coming up now.
Harry Allen to punt for Los Altos.
in the parking lot, you don't need to go around.
Ozzy Ortiz Verde to receive for Mountain View.
You'll pass by the pumpkin patch.
4 minutes to go in the game as the clock continues to run. Punt is away.
Barry Allen. Good kick on the ball.
Takes a hop towards. And
picked it up.
Verdi has to pick it up. So was it going to go in the end zone, and then he is knocked out of bounds. But a very, very nice punt by Harry Allen.
And then a flag after the play was over. I think that may have been a late hit.
Oof.
So let's take a look here. So the punt does get away. It's not a particularly high punt. And the receiver is saying, nope, I touched it. Now I'm going to have to run with it. And didn't actually make it, didn't do a bad job on that. And then the flag came in after that. So we're going to see if that's unsportsmanlike conduct or maybe a late hit.
It's against Los Altos. We're just waiting to see.
That's going to be another 15 yards if the Spartans get a push.
They're saying it was unsportsmanlike. So that puts the ball at the 36-yard line of Mountain View.
I have a feeling that there might have been a little extracurricular language after that play was over.
That could very well be, yes.
Yeah. Not that that ever happens in high school football,
no.
you understand, but
it's a rarity.
No, they save that for the classroom.
Nice completion.
Pass completed.
Is that a crossing route that he ran? I didn't quite see it.
It looked that way, Andrew. Let it look.
Danny is stopped as soon as he makes that.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a crossing route because that was right in the middle
Just a reminder
and kind of tackled by 3 or 4 different Eagles at that particular time. Miguel Tepepa was in on that one.
So Andrew Bice back in at quarterback for Los Altos. We've got a break in the action on the timeout by Los Altos. 2.5 minutes to go in the game. They lead 35-0. Here's some highlights so far from the second half for you to watch while we're in timeout here.
Look at that way that Parker bobbled that ball and then caught it himself. That is somebody who had an extra cup of coffee this morning. You don't have reflexes, I beg your pardon, on that. And then, oh, so close. They could have had him pinned down, and the man went into the end zone. Parker on another end around there, and he's running to daylight.
So Mountain View out of the timeout, again with Andrew Bice back in at quarterback. Bice drops back to pass, has some time, throws, and is incomplete.
Was likely intended for number 41, Ethan.
As it was intended for 41, Ethan Starr.
He had a ton of time there to get that. Ethan Starr just couldn't quite get his hands on it, but the protection that they were giving that quarterback, that's really impressive. That probably he should have had that ball.
3rd down and a yard. Bice out of the shotgun. Throws out in the flat. It's complete and met immediately is number 17, Jason Dulligan.
Yeah, dumped out in the flat, like you said, and then that is Alex Tokihuatl there to get him. He's a 5'6" senior, and he's played cornerback, and then he's been a wide receiver and a running back. So another Senior Bowl moment for him, or Senior Bowl, Pride Bowl.
4th down and less than a yard. 1st down is picked up, and then number 41, Ethan Starr, is knocked to the ground after getting the 1st down, so pushes the ball out to the 49, where it'll be 1st down for Mountain View, and we are under a minute to play here in the ball game.
So let's see if Mountain View is going to finish strong. Long shotgun there.
Pass open in the flats, caught by Sam Gill. Gill fights for some extra yardage, gets maybe an extra yard down to the 38-yard line, and Mountain View will hurry up to the line of scrimmage.
That may have been the longest completion they've had all day, Paul.
I believe so.
One more play for Mountain View. Desperately trying to avoid shutout.
Throws towards the sideline, but incomplete, out of bounds. Intended for Sam Gill, and that might do it as the clock continues to run. 9 seconds left to go. Mountain View trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but I don't think they're going to get another play off. As the Pride Bowl once again goes to Los Altos as they come away with a very convincing and very impressive 35-0 victory over their neighboring Mountain View Spartans. So that will do it for us here at Tom Burt Field. Final score 35-0, the Eagles. We'd like to thank our producer-director, Renee Antonio Mendoza. Replay graphics by Tyler Wiest. Camera, Tim Erskine, Abe Mills, Nick Borda, Orlando Montez. And thank you to Los Altos High School for allowing us to come out to you. And my special thanks to Mike Mesner for coming out here on a beautiful day here in Los Altos, taking time off from grading history papers.
A lot of fun,
and
Paul.
coming out to do the game. For all of us here at KMVT, I'm Paul Cunningham. We'll see you next time.